Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is wow, so many receipts, so many screenshots, so many leaked videos. I mean, the girls are talking, the people are fighting, everyone is gagging. So, before we dive into lies being debunked, conspiracy theories being confirmed, be sure to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So, with that, let's dive right on in. So, the first lie from Monica Garcia that has been debunked is this. So she has been spreading the narrative that Tanisha started and ran the account Reality Von Teese. Now, the reason why this has been debunked is because number one, Tanisha took accountability for her part in the group chat. So Tanisha's not denying knowledge of the page. She's not denying involvement in the group chat of laughing, kikiing, supporting, egging her on, but she has been very steadfast that she did not ever physically post on the account. She did not open and run the account, and that it was not her account that she was a part of. Now, all of the screenshots, all of the receipts confirm this. But what legally confirms this, or at least really puts it into perspective, is that back in March of 2021, this was right during the time when Reality Von Teese was leaking the videos about Jen Shah yelling and cussing out her fashion designer at the time, Koa Johnson. Now, when that happened, there were multiple people around. There was a lot around because Jen had like a team of assistants, a glam squad, all of this stuff. Tanisha was not present for that. But there was only three specific people that Jen Shah sent a cease and desist to. As you can see on the screen, the people that was sent the cease and desist was Koa Johnson, Monica Fowler, aka Monica Garcia, and a woman by the name of Savannah Gonzalez, who I think was like another assistant. Tanisha Lockett is not named in the cease and desist. Now, it was unclear if Jen knew exactly who posted it, but she narrowed it down to these three people being behind the account and it being leaked. I'm pretty sure that Jen and her legal team would have named Tanisha Lockett if Tanisha had any connection to the actual account itself. Actually posting to the account and running it is very different than having knowledge of the account. And basically, Tanisha has come out and said, I had knowledge of it. I was privy to it. I didn't stop it. I engaged in laughing about it and egging them on in support of my friend, but I wasn't the one posting in the day to day, and I didn't take any content to post, right? So this pretty much substantiates what Tanisha said, and that Monica was lying about that. Later on, I have another conspiracy theory about Monica and Tanisha and all of this stuff. But that's point number one. Okay. This one continued Monica's lie. Tanisha started and ran the account. Another reason why this is debunked. Let me move my thing to make sure you guys can see it. Okay. So on the left-hand side, this is a screenshot. Monica is saying, unfollow the page and removed us as a follower. F face stanky B. I'm blocking her. Koa says, I'm still on. Just let it go. It'll be less drama for us to evade any confrontation. Then Tanisha says, agreed. Just drop it from the Von T side and just ask her directly for your money, LOL. So again, this confirms what Tanisha said about supporting the friend but not running the account. Then Monica says, that's why I don't want to post anymore from Batiz. Tanisha says, don't do it then. No need to keep it going. Does that sound like someone who's running the account? Does that sound like someone who is ahead of the account? If it was Tanisha who was ahead of the account the entire time, why would she be urging Monica to stop posting? And just like Tanisha said before, she realized, why don't you just ask Jen directly for your money? And the reason why Tanisha started to distance herself from Monica was because Tanisha started to elevate. Heather was like, oh, why don't you come and do my hair? She was making more money. She started to elevate. And anytime you're within a friend group or any type of social circle and a person starts to elevate out of it, whether it's through leveling up money or financially or whatever it is, and Tanisha was like, I was reading more books, I was on my A game, the more she realized, I don't want to be a part of this toxicity. She's like, I have to look out for me, my money, and my child. And I'm not about to jeopardize my reputation and my bag because Monica and Koa want to complain about Jen all day. Does that sound like somebody who created this account? Does that sound like somebody who was actually even benefiting from the account? I don't think so. But let's keep going. Okay. Now, as we all know, one of the most explosive videos that has leaked has been Monica Garcia and her mom, which everything the mom says and everything that Monica says pretty much proves a lot of the theories and perspectives that we've had on their dynamic and also Monica's true intention. So let's first watch the video. Listen carefully to what they're actually saying, and then we will break down why it really debunks a lot of her lies and really exposes her for who she truly is, okay? Here we go.
Did was unite those 4 assholes. That's the only thing that you did. How can you forget that your job is to get on air time, to get into as many scenes as possible? You gotta play nice. I know you don't like her. I know you got beef with her, but you're an actress. You gotta pretend like all is right in the world. It's a job. It's a show. It's a reality show that you worked hard to get on.
You left me completely in the fucking water with these bitches. You took Angie's side. I was not a disaster. I was not an embarrassment.
You were in someone's home yelling and dropping S.
So was everyone else. Go yell at them. Go yell at Heather. Go yell at Lisa.
No one else was.
Yes, they were. You should have been listening harder then, I guess. You should have been listening harder. She started it.
This is a job.
Don't come over here and start this shit with me.
Don't make it personal.
You don't understand? Go talk to Lori because you're a fucking mess. And you fucked it up yesterday. She's the head person. You should know who she is.
Okay.
You are insane. You looked like a crazy person. Just so you know.
Don't do that.
I took the day off.
Super
I
classy.
took the day off from
I
work.
fell down the fucking stairs. And all you could...
That's on you. Wow. Nobody pushed you down the stairs. I took...
Wow! Get out of my house!
The
Get the fuck out of my house! Get the fuck out of my house! I fell down the stairs and you're like, that's on you? That's on
right.
you? You're
That's
disgusting. You're
That's on
disgusting.
you.
You are disgusting. Okay. Bye. Bye. Thank you for coming over with this toxic shit. Thank you.
Fucking balls.
Take the fucking balls. You are so gross. Your kid falls down the stairs and you say that's on me? You are so gross.
You should not.
You are so gross.
You shouldn't have run away.
Run away? I was leaving. You were in my face.
You shouldn't have run away.
Being disgusting in front of all those people.
Disgusting.
I was being disgusting. Angie started that shit. Angie started it.
You put a kibosh on.
You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what you're doing.
Bye. You came over
and you abandoned me.
I abandoned you? I abandoned you.
I took the day
Are
off
you
from
fucking
work
serious right
on
now?
the last day of the month.
Are you fucking
to do this for
serious
you.
right now?
I had to drive home in a shit box.
A shit box? You should be grateful they paid for your ride. How about thank you for giving me a free ride home?
How about thank you? I took the day off from work to do that.
I did say that. And then you
no,
fucking...
didn't.
Yes, I did. Mom, stop. Stop. The fact that you are the victim right now...
I'm not saying I'm the victim.
You are acting like the victim.
Well, you're
you
yelling.
said, I'm in my house. I'm in my house.
Take it down.
You don't want to be yelled at? Then leave.
Take it down.
I don't have to.
Take it down.
don't have to.
vision.
You have
You lost sight of the job.
Oh my God.
You lost sight. You got out of control.
And that's why Lori said my shit was the best of everyone that night, and everyone else dropped the fucking ball.
You were the hottest mess. That makes you the best.
Yeah.
That's what you
get
want.
the assignment.
That's what you want.
Get the assignment.
You
were disgusting. You looked like an awful mother. You didn't even fucking care I fell down the stairs.
No,
All you
I
wanted.
didn't.
Wow. Okay, get out. Get out. Dead ass. Get out of my house. Nana is waiting. She's very upset. Thanks.
And your boobs hanging out were disgusting.
Okay.
You did.
So that's the real Monica, you guys. That's the quote unquote princess icon everyone is saying. I don't think so. Did you also notice in the video, to be honest with you, the saddest part of that video, if you caught it, Monica's children were so unfazed. Like her eldest daughter walked by like it was like no big deal. Her little daughter in the little red jacket was just like walking around like it's no big deal. To me, that shows you how desensitized these children are to verbal and emotional violence and abuse. They were unfazed by it. If this was happening in my house, I would lose my crap because I would be like, oh my God, what is going on? This is crazy, because it's not normal. It is so normalized in that household. To me, that was the saddest thing, because honestly, the only victims are the children in this. Like, TV aside, reality aside, Kiki aside, I feel bad for her kids, okay? Now, let's look at what that debunked. All right, so number 2, Monica's lie. We only opened the account to show how horrible of a boss in person Jen Shah was. Well, that video completely debunked it. I also have another video that got leaked today that we're going to watch too. So keep in mind both of those videos when we go through this. It's debunked. So although I think that was part of the reason why, sure, she opened the account, but it's obvious that the real reason why Monica, Koa, and Savannah opened the account was for fame. All of them was chasing money, chasing a bag, all of that. Just like Monica's mom said, this is a show. You are an actress. You lost sight of that, and then Monica's like, that's the assignment, blah, 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 blah. Monica did not open Reality Von Tease out of the kindness of her heart. She did it because she wanted to be famous. She's also a hypocrite. The leaked video showing Monica screaming, yelling, and cussing her mother out, kicking her out, and verbally attacking her. Yet, she claims to care so much about Jen Shah yelling at her employees. The two can't track. How are you so self-righteous and you want to, expose Jen and, you want to take her down because she's so mean and she yells at her assistants? How dare she? And then you go home and you treat your own mother like this. Make that make sense. Nobody who's like true intention to expose evil people would do this, except for the people who are hypocrites and the people who are lying about their true intentions. So you want to start an account because Jen Shah is yelling at your friend Koa, but this is how you treat your mother? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. It was also debunked because Tanisha confirmed that Monica DM'd Jen as a fan and then became her assistant. So she literally sought this person out, targeted. But yet you want to say that you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart to expose her. Stop lying. We're on to you. Okay. Monica's lie number 3. My mother is toxic and abandoned me. Again, we just watched the leaked video. Now, do I think that Monica and her mother have an unhealthy dynamic and relationship? Yes. But do I think that her mother is this toxic, evil monster who abandoned her? No. What I actually saw in that video was a mom who was supporting her child and what her child wanted. She was talking to her calmly and she was saying, listen, I know you don't like these chicks, but I'm trying to tell you how to move on this show. Because to be honest with you, the mom was right. If Monica had stayed within pocket, I don't think these women would have had their antennas up. It's the fact that Monica was getting so out of pocket, so blatantly telling these rumors, cussing people out, throwing shoes, falling downstairs, being verbally aggressive, is why they were like, what's up with Monica? If Monica had actually played it the way her mother was telling her to, I think Monica could have done still done a quote great job, whatever you want to call that. Me, I don't think this evilness is great, but it is whatever. I think she still could have been on the show and made an impact. And I don't think at least this season she would have been exposed as reality Von Tease. I don't think it would have came out if she actually did what her mother said. Her mother was like, listen, I know you don't like these chicks, but you got to put it together. You got to pretend you're an actress. This is a show. Get in as many scenes as you can be in, but don't go crazy and be out of the pocket because you're putting the wrong type of attention on yourself. And people always think, oh, we have to be crazy. This is the assignment. All the people who is doing what Monica did or something like that have either been canceled, put on pause, or fired. I'm looking at you, Lisa Rinna. I'm looking at you, Portia. I'm looking at you, Dorinda. I'm looking at you, you know what I'm saying? Like all the people at some point who go this crazy and cuckoo doodle doo, they get canceled or put on pause at some point. Will Bravo and NBC use you until the threshold is so much that they no longer can use you? Yeah, but then they're going to toss you out because this performative stuff only lasts for so long. She should have listened to her mother. Her mother was like, I took the day off of work to support you. I was there. And she stranded her mother at the Easter dinner? Girl. But then you want to come up here and act like you're the victim and your mom is this horrible, selfish person. Your mom didn't say, I want to be on the show. Your mom didn't say, I want to be the star. Your mom didn't say any of that. She said, I took the day off to come and support you. You went crazy. What are you like? To me, the mom was being a mom. No person is perfect. Do I think her mom has issues? Yeah, but I think everybody has issues because we're human beings. So that's clearly been debunked. And I don't care how toxic your mother is, the way she spoke to her mother is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And then to film it and allegedly send it to someone, I think, to be honest with you, I think Monica leaked this video herself. And I'll tell you why I think that. I think she leaked it herself because she thought it was going to have a different effect. She leaked the video, and then right after the video was leaked, like literally right after, she comes out with this post being like, this is my karma. I sent this to my best friend who I thought we were like sisters. Our children were together, basically lying and saying Tanisha leaked this. I don't think for 1 second Tanisha leaked this video. Tanisha doesn't come across like that. Tanisha's just like, I'm cooking eggs for my child. Like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And that's a direct quote from a live she did last night on TikTok with this other channel. I think she leaked it herself and then she wants to blame Tanisha so then she can be the victim. Oh, this is my karma. Oh, this is what I did. I apologize to my mom. I never meant for this to be public. I can't believe it. Because people with this type of I'm not a doctor, I don't diagnose, but I'm just assuming people who have these type of inclinations will do anything in order to put themselves back in the victim position. So then everybody will be like, see, she's a victim too. She's taking accountability. She's apologizing. Tanisha's so horrible. Excuse me. And another thing about that is not always, but I'm so shocked at how people are coming so hard against Tanisha. I'm like, I'm confused. How is Tanisha a bad person for being honest with Heather about what Monica, and she included herself, was doing, but yet these same people want to act like Monica is a queen and an icon for quote exposing Jen Shah. You can't have it both ways. You can't say Tanisha's horrible for exposing Monica, but then say Monica is a queen and an icon for exposing Jen. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It just really doesn't. Okay, now let's see our next one. All right. Now, this was our conspiracy theory. If you are OG Candy Canes, you've heard this. If you're new Candy Canes, I'll tell you what it was. So we had the conspiracy theory that the beginning of the end for Monica was during the Greek Easter party, because everyone was like, well, when did Heather start to doubt Monica? Why did Monica turn against her mother? And I always said it was the Greek Easter party. I said whatever happened behind the scenes that did not air was way worse than what we saw. And whatever happened made all of the women look at Monica differently, especially Heather. And that was the moment that Monica knew she had to throw her mother under the bus in order to save herself. Instead of taking accountability, like her mother said, and say, listen, I went crazy. I was cussing at your house. I was doing this, that, and the third. I apologize. I take accountability for that. She turned it around and made up this whole cockamamie story about her mother abandoning her and being toxic and being abusive and all of this other stuff in order to justify her own behavior. So instead of taking accountability and apologizing for her behavior, she justified it by villainizing her mother. And that was also the moment where all the women were like, what's up with Monica? Because the mother told it in the video. She said, all you did was indict those 4 a-holes. Right? And then it also confirms that was the reason Monica turned on her, for damage control. Because the mom was speaking truth and Monica knew it. That's why she got so angry. The mom was like, you united the girls. You were going nuts. You were going crazy. You looked ridiculous, all of this stuff. And that's why Monica got so triggered and was so angry at her mom. And she goes, you abandoned me with those women, because she knew she messed up. She knew whatever went down at that Easter party was a big misstep. And to be honest with you, I really think if she had not shown herself, if her mask didn't slip at that party, she would have continued to con those women for the rest of the season. If she would have played it the way her mother told her to play it. Because her mom was right from a strategic standpoint. Her mom was 100% correct. Monica could have came out like the new girl, the newbie, slaying it, relatable, spilling the tea, but all this stuff. She could have done her diabolical plan and nobody would have been the wiser. She really could have, but she got in her own way. Similar to what happened with Scandival. Obviously, these are 2 totally different situations. But what I mean by that is, it's like how everyone said, if Rachel had not been hooking up with Tom Sandoval, the edit she got on the show, it was her season. Rachel was being edited and looked at. It was her season. She had left, what's his name? She left toxic James Kennedy. She was coming into her own. She was doing her birthday party. She was, giving it to Lala. She was coming across as like, the new princess of Vanderpump Rules. She got a really great edit. The only reason why she got taken down was because what she was doing in the dark got exposed. But if it hadn't gotten exposed, she would have come out smelling like roses in her edit. Same thing with Monica. If she hadn't shown her true self at that Easter party, her edit would have been like, she's the new girl, she's coming out, she's giving it to the girls, all of this, right? Crazy. Whew. So let's move on to our next one. Okay, number 5. We had the conspiracy theory that Monica had a personal vendetta against Angie K, and she was purposely exposing her family, her marriage, and her financial secrets, and used Meredith as a pawn to cover up the fact that it was really her exposing these things about Angie. Because remember I said, everything that's coming out about Angie on the show has come directly out of Monica's mouth. Meredith never actually said anything about Angie specifically. Just, oh, well, let's not talk about the husbands, or there's rumors. Very general, things that they all say, I got dirt on you, there's the receipts, blah, 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 blah. But the actual specific rumors, owing the IRS monies, being in the Greek mafia, her husband is sleeping with men and cheating on her, she's doing this, that, and the dirt, their money is fraudulent, their businesses or whatever, blah, 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 blah. all of that information, the only reason why we know it is because Monica said it. But then she flipped it to make it like it was all coming from Meredith, which we all know now is a lie. This conspiracy was confirmed again in that video because her mom said specifically, I know you have beef with her. And in that context, they were talking about Angie because they were talking about Angie started it. It was at Angie's house. And her mom says, I know you have beef with her. That's why you got to really listen to what people say. So she did, for whatever reason, have a personal vendetta against Angie, which explains now why she kept low-key going after Angie every single episode, but acting like it was Meredith. That's why Meredith was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What DMs? You know, Meredith was even trying to shut down the conversations. And Monica kept going and going and going. And then she took the rumor, she took it to Heather, she took it to Lisa, she spread it all around. And that is being so two-faced. Because yet Monica played dumb, she pretended to be Andy's friend, and she blamed it all on Meredith. But at the end of the day, the DMs, the rumors were all from her because, like I said, she did have a personal vendetta against Angie. Her mom said it. Her mom in the video said, I know you have a beef with her. And this makes it personal because the mom did not say, I know you have a beef with them. I know you don't. At some point, she's like, I know you don't like those bees or whatever. But in this particular context, when they're talking about Angie, she said her. When I'm talking to somebody and we're talking about somebody specifically, I'm going to say, I know you have a beef with her. But now it makes sense. Because we were like, why is Monica going after Angie K? Is it for Jen Shah? Is it for somebody else? No, it was for whatever reason Monica had. And you know, another thing that I don't believe. There's a lot of theories that Jen Shah was feeding Monica all of the women's secrets and all of this stuff, and it was coming from Jen. That doesn't make sense to me. Just to me, in my personal opinion, it doesn't make sense. If Jen Shah was feeding Monica all of this information about the women, why did she send Monica a cease and desist? Why was Monica's Reality Von T's channel in the beginning talking mostly about Jen, and then it branched out to the other women as well, talking stuff about them and trying to bring them down? I don't think that Monica got her information from Jen Shah at all. That doesn't make any sense. If Jen was using Monica to spread that stuff, why would she send her a cease and desist? So that doesn't track for me. I think that Monica was getting her information, one, by being the plant as the assistant, and then by, you know, Koa and Savannah and other people and people DMing and sending stuff and them doing their own sleuthing and also making stuff up too, you know? And it will come out because don't forget, I have another audio of leaked audio footage from Monica where she talks about this stuff. So there's that. Okay. Number 6, conspiracy theory. So people are on the fence on this one. I personally believe the Bravo producers who said that they were also conned, that they did not know Monica was Reality Von Teese. I personally believe them. Number one, they have a source, or they went on the record in Entertainment Tonight saying that the casting team and producers were unaware of Monica's association with the Instagram account and that they had no knowledge of the account when she was cast. I don't think that they would have a quote source or have anybody go on record, you know, in the media if they really did, because that could open them up to legal liability, right? So for one, just from like a legal standpoint, I think that if they did know about her, they would say nothing. They don't have to come out and say anything. They really don't have to. They didn't come out about Diana Jenkins. They didn't say we did know or we did not know about Diana Jenkins' allegations, and that was crazy what her allegations were. They never came out and said we knew or did not know about Jen Shah's fraud. We did know or we did not know about Brooks faking cancer. We did not know, or we from the OC, not Salt Lake City. You know, we did not or we did not know about Teresa's you know, defrauding the government. No, they've never come out with a statement. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have to. So the fact that they did, to me, seems like they didn't know. Also, just as a viewer watching the show, in the confessionals, in the beginning, before Monica loses the weight, because at the end, the last 2 episodes, she looks different in the confessional, so you know that they were filmed different. The way that they're asking questions and bringing these up doesn't seem like they know, if that makes sense. I just don't, and also, like, I don't think that they would be this sloppy to hire her. I really don't. I mean, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. I think they've done some shady stuff. I think that they have, faked storylines and produced things, but I don't think they knew. I think that they were just as shocked as Heather was. And Tanisha even said this. Tanisha did about an hour live on this channel called Hosea, something like that. Shout out to that creator. And she said, I don't think production knew until Heather knew. And I believe that, because even if you watch the scenes, the camera people and the people who are sort of, when they break the fourth wall, their energy and the way they're looking at it is shook. They're not even reacting. When you look at the people, like, go back and watch the finale, because they break the fourth wall and they show everything. Their energy is shook. Their energy isn't like, oh, we knew this was coming, our plan worked out perfectly. No. And another reason why I don't think the producers knew is because the way she got exposed wasn't produced by their producers. The way she got exposed was through Heather's sleuthing. Heather was the one who was like, something doesn't feel right here. The other ladies wasn't rocking with Monica, but she was the one who had her spidey senses up. She was the one who went to Tanisha. And then when she's at the Bermuda thing, because Tanisha told Monica about her being reality Von Tease before she went to Bermuda, because Heather felt something was wrong. And I'm going to get into why I think Heather went to Tanisha, the real reason why. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But she goes to Tanisha about it, and Tanisha's like, okay, fine, I got to come clean. And she tells her everything that happens. But then Heather doesn't just believe her word. She goes, send me the receipts. So then Tanisha starts sending her screenshots and audio and video and like all the receipts. And then Heather reaches out to Meta. As we know, Meta is Facebook. As we all know, Facebook owns Instagram. As we all know, Reality was an Instagram account. She contacts Meta saying, hey, listen, all of this stuff is going on. Can you look into this for me? When she's on the phone with the people from Meta, and they are confirming who the account belongs to. And that's why she flips out, because that's when she says, I got the confirmation today. Because it doesn't make sense if she's talking to Tanisha. Why would she get the confirmation from Tanisha on the phone call while she's in Bermuda and Tanisha is in Salt Lake City doing hair? That doesn't make any sense. She took the information that Tanisha gave her before they went on their Bermuda trip. And this came from Tanisha herself. The content creator is Hosea's World TV Media. Shout out to him. He did a great job. Go support him. Watch the full video. This is what Tanisha says. She says she told her before Bermuda, because Tanisha doesn't travel with Heather. So she didn't go to Bermuda. And the person she's on the phone with is the people from Meta. And we've seen this happen multiple times. Remember it with Botgate in Beverly Hills. Remember when Diana Jenkins was like, I'm going to crack the case on the bots and figure out the people's IP. And she was suing Meta to get the information and all that stuff. And then she was suing she didn't sue Meta. I think she subpoenaed them for their information because she was going to sue anonymous bots. So this isn't unheard of. Also, a lot of the housewives will reach out to YouTube, they'll reach out to Instagram, they'll reach out to Facebook on different accounts talking about them, either trying to get them flagged or demonetized or figure out who they are or taken off. We've seen this with people in New Jersey. We've seen it with the Beverly Hills people. So this is not uncommon for the reality stars to have contacts at the social media people. So that's who Heather's talking to. And she's like, I can't believe it's her. I can't believe she would do this to us. And that's why Heather says to the women, I got the confirmation today. Something was confirmed today. And everybody, all those producers, look just as shook as she does. I think production have done shady things. I think that they have sort of guided storylines and protected certain people 100%, but I don't think they knew about Monica. Another reason why I don't think they knew about Monica is because Monica is the type of person that when she got exposed, or even after, like on her social media, she's doing the most. Why isn't she saying, well, production knew? Don't be mad at me. I was doing my job. They knew. Monica has not come out and said production knew. The only thing Monica has come out and said was there was other people running the account, blah, blah, blah. Why wouldn't she just say, well, you guys can't be mad at me. Production knew I was just doing my job. They already knew, right? So that's why I don't think production actually knew, because that would just squash the entire conversation. If production knew, then you know what? Then Monica, we owe you apology. Because if production knew and they cast you and you did your job and they knew who you were, then it is what it is. Then it is what it is. But she has not said that. But production has gone on record through a source that they did not know. So that's why I don't think they knew. That's why. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Now, let me see. Let me see 1 second. Okay. Now, this is a good time to play the other leaked video, because this is going to go into what I was saying earlier and the whole lie about why she started the Jinshaw troll account to expose her for being a bad person and all that. I don't think so, boo-boo. So let's listen to this. And shout out to Real Andy at Beverly Hills. I snatched this audio from his account, so go give him a follow. Show him some support. He's amazing. So shout out to him. Just wanted to send him some love. Okay, here we go.
Girl, I know. That's exactly why I called her a snake. Like, you dumb bitch. Like, low-key, I want to DM Mary from, like, a burner account. She probably wouldn't ever see it. And just be like, bitch, I could do it from Reality Von Teese. Okay? But anyway, because, she'd be watching that shit. And she would open our messages. And just be like, just so you know, Jillian, one of our followers fucking said that she said everything. Just so you fucking know. Bitch, that girl is a fucking dirty rat. She's a rat. One of these types of things. Bravo will not touch you again with a 10-foot pole. And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm not trying to ruin my credibility or name or future like that. Bitch, what happens if fucking Lisa Barlow or Meredith Marks somehow, we don't know, okay, we got in with Jen, we would never be able to do that again. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, my goal is to be a star, bitch. Kind of joking, but also kind of serious. Like, I don't want to ruin my chances for ever being on a Bravo show. Hello. No! You guys, I think I might drive up to Park City because the movers are coming today. What do you guys think? Should I do it to record for, like, BTS Reality Von Teese footage?
Does that sound like somebody whose intentions were pure? Or does that sound like somebody who told on themselves, I want to be famous, I want to be a star? And she even said, I don't know if she said infiltrated or something. She was like, we infiltrated Jen, we got into Jen, I don't know if we can do that again. You really got to pay attention to what people say. That right there confirms she did target Jen Shah, just like Tanisha said. She targeted her. You don't say we infiltrated, we got in with this person, we don't know if we can do it again. My gut says, again, it's my opinion, but my gut says Monica and Koa and whoever this Savannah person is wanted to be famous in my Kanye West voice. I made that famous. They wanted fame. All of this was about them getting a certain lifestyle, becoming famous, and money. And this is the thing. I don't care about that. I think that's fine. If you want to be famous, if you want to have a lifestyle, if you want to get a bag, go at it. I truly believe anything you want in this world, you go out and you snatch it. You go out and you get it. However, the way in which you go about it matters. That is my issue with Monica. Not that she wants to be famous, not that she wants to be on a Bravo show, not that she wants to have a luxurious life. It's the way she went about it. You see what I'm saying? It's the conniving, it's the lying, it's the deception, it's the she's a fraud herself. It's the lying on people, it's the sociopathness of it all. There's no problem with wanting to be famous. There's no problem with wanting money. There's no problem with wanting a better lifestyle. But don't get on this show and play in our faces, lie on people and do all of this stuff, play the victim, and act like you did this out the kindness of your heart, exposing Jin Shah, when the truth was you targeted this woman, infiltrated her life, took private photos and videos of her in order to, quote, take her down so you could take her spot. That is what you did. And you're not a truth teller. You're not a straight shooter. You're not any of those things. You're a liar and you're a fraud and you're weird and you're psycho, in my personal assessment and opinion. Because the thing is, she didn't need to do all of that to be on the show. And I'll tell you why she didn't need to do all that to be on the show. Look at Gina on The Real Housewives of OC. Same energy, except for Gina isn't as dark as Monica. Doesn't have a lot of money. And I'm not shaming. I'm not money shaming at all. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the reality of the premise of the show. The Real Housewives, behind the white gate, all of that stuff. That's what I mean. I'm obviously not shaming anybody's financial status. I don't want that karma coming back in my life. So trust me, I'm not shaming anybody. But look at Gina on the OC. She's a divorced mom, co-parenting with her children, dating somebody new, had to downsize in her casita, and she's on the show. She has a spot. She's been on the show for years. Look at Leah McSweeney in New York. Single woman, co-parenting, raising her children. Doesn't have as much money as the other women living in her apartment in New York. She was on the show. Was on the show for a couple of seasons. Even got asked to be on the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Look at Bethany Frankel. When she started on the Real Housewives, she had no money. She was the single one. And look at her now. So it's not about the fact that Monica doesn't have the lifestyle or the money as the other women do. And to be honest with you, I kind of question about her money because it seems like she doesn't really have a job and her husband / ex-husband subsidize her life, which to me is fine, as he should. He should, pay for his children and all of that stuff. That's fine. But she lies about everything. I wonder if this whole I don't have any money thing is also a lie. Who knows? Who knows? She doesn't have any money, but she's driving a Range Rover. Doesn't have any money, but yet is fine and doesn't have a job. Whatever. I guess she had some baby company, but who knows? Who knows? I think she stopped. Whatever. Who knows? But you get what I'm saying. She didn't have to do all of that to get on the show. She didn't have to stalk Jen, stalk the other ladies, set up a Finsta account, infiltrate people's lives, then lie to production, because I don't think production knew, because if production knew, she would have been told it. Andy Cohen clearly did not know. Clearly. It's obvious Andy didn't know. Andy's not a good actor. And at the reunion, you can tell he had no idea. Andy clearly did not know. So she didn't have to do all of that. She still could have been on the show. She still could have had the fame and the money without doing all this weird maniacal stuff. There are so many housewives who are in very similar situations as Monica who are on the show. Brandi Glanville was another one. Divorced, co-parenting her children, didn't have as much money as the other women. A lot of housewives are in the same exact boat, but they don't do this stuff. And there's a difference between shady and, reading people and going at it and this, that, and the third. That's one thing. But what this chick did was directly against the other women before she was even on the show. That's a different type of level of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's not like Robin looking for receipts on Chris, Candace's husband, because they're on the show and they're in the thick of it. This is literally a swim fan, stalker person online doing all of this and then trying to infiltrate their group. And the level of jealousy and hatred and vitriol that she has for these women who she doesn't even know like that is also very scary and very alarming. I don't know why Bravo, who knows what they're going to do? I have no idea. But why would Bravo bring back a woman whose own mother said, all you did was unite these 4 a-holes? I know you have a beef with her. I know I didn't abandon you with these bees. It's the level, and then everything she just said in the leaked audio, it's the level of vitriol and hate that she has for these women who she doesn't even really know. That is what is alarming. And then you expect these women to film with her after this? That's a dangerous and scary situation to put people in. I thought The Housewives was about women coming together who have interesting stories and dynamic friendships. It's always been about, we got to get the friendship group together. We got to bring the friendship group back together. We can't have the division. You know what I mean? Why would you bring back a woman who speaks like this about other castmates? You see what I'm saying? That's why this is scary. And I'm honestly, I should have been asleep last night, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was on TikTok. There is this one account and they were going live talking about it, and Koa was on it. Koa Johnson was on it. Andy was on it. Not our Andy. Andy, who is Monica's makeup artist, a different Andy. Shout out to the real Andy at Beverly Hills. We love him. Not our Andy. It was Andy from Monica's makeup artist was on it. And then Tanisha was on it too. I should have been asleep, but my little butt was in bed, just all in the business. And why did I bring that up? Anyway, so I was watching that and I was floored by the people who were like, go Monica, team Monica. She didn't do anything that bad. I'm like, do they not understand the true implications of what her and her friends did and what it really means for what they did? This isn't funny. This is really a ticky boom. Something's really wrong here. And if I was one of the housewives, I wouldn't want to film with her. I would not feel safe. If I heard anybody speaking about, this is the thing, not just Monica, but Monica and her own mother. If I heard someone and their mother speak on me and my life the way Monica and her mother were speaking about me, why would I ever want to work with that person? And don't forget, this is a job. Just like the mom said, it's a show. You're an actress, pretend. It's at the end of the day, it's still a job. That's why they're getting all these lawsuits. It's still a job, meaning the employer has the duty to protect their employees. That's why they keep getting sued for these toxic work environments. That's why they keep getting sued for this stuff. Because if I go and I'm working at Walmart and my employer hires somebody who knows that they said all this about me, and then something pops off, I'm going to sue my employer, because why would you put me, your employee, in that dangerous situation? It's not just, oh, I don't like her. This is a different type of level. Infiltrating yourself in people's houses, being around people's children, taking videos of them without their consent and posting it online, calling them the B word and the a-hole and doing all this stuff. This is different. If anybody was doing this in quote real life, this is a restraining order. This is harassment. This would be a case. That's why Tanisha went to the police and filed a report against Monica. You know, like, you really got to look at this in the bigger picture. I think sometimes we get caught up in like, oh, it's a reality TV show, real life. At the end of the day, NBC Universal is hiring these people. It's a workplace. It's a workplace. And what workplace would allow this to happen knowing that they know it? That's another reason why I don't think the producers knew. Because again, let's say I'm going to go get a job at Walmart, right? I want to go work for Walmart social media. I want to be Walmart social media manager, okay, for Walmart. And I don't put it on my resume that I secretly have a Instagram page dedicated to exposing how horrible Walmart is. Walmart is horrible. Mass production. They don't pay their employees. You know, how do they manufacture this stuff? It's so cheap. You know, child labor. Walmart is horrible. They exploit their employees. Do you think Walmart is going to hire me to work from them if I have an account dedicated to exposing and taking them down? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, now let's move on to my new conspiracy theory. I think that Tanisha was always going to be Monica's fall guy. I think that Monica always knew that she was going to blame everything on Tanisha if she ever got exposed. And I'm going to tell you why I think this. I don't even think Tanisha caught on to this. But I'm going to tell you why. Again, shout out to Josea's World TV Media. Go watch, go follow. This was from the exclusive interview he did with her. Tanisha said in her interview that Monica was telling the other women that Tanisha was talking and spreading lies and rumors about them. This was during filming, so we don't see it actually on camera because we obviously only see Tanisha at the end in the finale when everything pops off. So this is truly behind the scenes because remember, Tanisha is a hairstylist. She's glam. She isn't actually a part of the show. We saw Andy on the show. Andy is the guy when they're in Bermuda because Andy does Whitney's makeup and he does Monica's makeup. So remember they're in Bermuda and Monica's about to get her makeup done and then Heather comes in. Not Heather, I'm sorry. Whitney comes in and Whitney's like, I need to get my makeup done first. That makeup artist, that's Andy. Okay. Tanisha does their hair. She's not really a part of the show itself. So we don't see any of this go down. Tanisha said in this interview, and I personally believe Tanisha. She comes across very believable. She doesn't want to be on the show. She's not clout chasing or any of that. She's like, listen, I feel really bad about the part I played. This is my account. She took 100% accountability. She told the truth about the part that she played. She was very, very remorseful. And she wasn't over the top and trying to bring anybody down. She wasn't trying to she didn't add anything in or try to add fuel to the fire. She was just like, listen, this is my truth. This is the part I played and I feel really bad, but this is what it is. To me, she came across very credible, very, very credible. And she was talking about how once Monica got on the show, Monica didn't even tell her she got on the show. She found out from Heather because Monica and Tanisha had some type of friendship falling out. I don't know why they fell out. Tanisha did not disclose it. She said she didn't want to share the reason why, but she said they had some sort of falling out. They stopped being friends, whatever the case was. Then Tanisha said that the ladies, i.e. like Heather and Meredith and Lisa and Whitney and all them, would then kind of come to her and be like, hey, did you say this? Because Monica's saying you're saying blah, 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 blah. And Tanisha would have to clean it up and explain herself and be like, no, I never said that, or I don't know where that's coming from, or no, this is what happened. And so in my mind, I'm like, and I don't think Tanisha understood exactly what was happening to her. It's what Monica was trying to do to Meredith, planting the seeds to point in the direction that if it comes out that she was involved in this, I already have the fall guy because I already planted all of these seeds. Oh, Tanisha said this. Tanisha said that. Did you hear what Tanisha said? Well, Tanisha told me. This is coming from Tanisha. I think she already knew that if it ever were to come out, that was going to be the fall guy. That's why at the dinner, she was so quick with it. She goes, "It wasn't me. It was Tanisha. It was Tanisha." So she was too quick with that response. She was too quick with that because we've already seen the way she does it. Meredith even said it. She was like, "No, Monica was the one who, at the flight from Palm Springs, was telling me all this stuff about Angie and everything else. She was the one who planted those seeds. That's why when I got the DMs, she was the one who I called." And remember, she said that after she got lunch with Monica, they went walking. And she was talking about like, oh, like this area used to be like with the Greek mafia. That's how it was built. And Monica was like, "Do you think Angie's a part of the Greek mafia?" Like Angie was, or Monica was the one who planted it. Do you see? And then remember how all the women were thinking that it was Meredith who was doing it? I think Monica already knew before Tanisha even said a word to Heather. She was already planting the seeds of doubt, of speculation, of reasonable deniability. "Oh, it wasn't me. I was just, she used me. I thought she was my friend. She played me like a pawn." Isn't that what she said Meredith did to her? That Meredith was using her. That's what she was doing. She was setting up Tanisha to be the fall guy from jump. Because otherwise, why would she say that to the other women? Why would she be so pressed to talk to the other women about Tanisha, who is Heather's hairstylist and who is her old friend? Why would she be so pressed to plant those seeds with the other women to the point where the other women were going to Tanisha and asking her what's up? This also is why Tanisha said in the live that when Heather approached Tanisha, what Heather said to her was, "Are you conspiring with Monica?" It was either in cahoots or conspiring, something like that. Some meaning, but it was like, "Are you conspiring with her?" And the reason why Heather asked her, and if you don't believe me, go watch the video. This is what Tanisha herself said. I'm just paraphrasing, so if you don't want to spend an hour watching it, you don't have to. But this is what Tanisha said. This isn't me making stuff up. That Heather came to her and said, "Are you conspiring with her? Are you in cahoots with her? Just let me know. Is there anything I need to be aware of when we go to Bermuda? Is she going to spring anything on us?" And to me, the reason why Heather would say, "Are you conspiring with her?" is because Monica had already planted so many seeds. The only reason why I'm going to ask somebody, "Are you conspiring with someone?" is if there was already doubt in my mind, or there is already suspicion in my mind that this person is conspiring in the first place. If not, I'm going to say, "Do you know what Monica is up to?" I'm not going to say, "Are you conspiring with her?" You see what I'm saying? She had already planted that. Tanisha was going to be her fall guy from jump. She wasn't going to throw her little buddy Koa under the bus. I don't know what the hell happened to Savannah Gonzalez. Who knows? So she had to throw Tanisha, her ex-friend, under the bus. Tanisha also said that Monica was so mad, and this is another thing that people like her do, was so mad that Tanisha wouldn't betray Heather. Like, she wouldn't give her her address. She wouldn't talk bad about Heather. She was writing for Heather, and she was pissed that Tanisha was doing Heather's hair. So you're mad that your so-called best friend has a good job doing Heather's hair in a healthy environment. You're so mad at her about it, but yet you stayed with Jen Shah and you're on the show. So you're on the show with all of these women who your mother called a-holes, who you and your mother called the B word. You're on this show with all these women who you can't stand, but yet you have a problem with Tanisha getting a bag to support her family. Because Tanisha said she loved Heather, she was writing for Heather, and that Heather treated her and her children like gold. And I believe it. I think Heather really is a good person. I do think that Heather treated Tanisha and her children very well, because Heather has a good heart. She does. Whether you like her or not on the show, who cares? I personally do like her now. She's grown on me a lot. She's a good person. She's a good person. She has some issues with codependency, whatever. Who cares? We all have a little bit of that in us. She's a good person. And I believe Tanisha because what she is saying is how people actually operate. Tanisha was like, listen, I got a good job. I'm getting paid on time. People are treating me with respect. I'm not about to jeopardize all of this because you want to blog and tweet about Jen Shah. That makes sense to me. What mother is going to jeopardize her bag that she uses to take care of her children over Monica and Koa complaining about Jen Shah yelling at them over a designer dress? You see what I'm saying? Like, that to me makes the most sense. And Tanisha was like, no, Heather's really great. She treats me and my children really well. You know, we have a good time together. And then from getting the gig with Heather, she's gotten other gigs in Utah. Go to her Instagram page. I think it's Tanisha Styles or something like that. Like, that's the handle because she does hairstyling. Go to her Instagram page. She worked with Gabrielle Union. She's worked with other people. She's doing great. She was just like, I don't want to be on the show. This isn't clout from me. And I'm not going to jeopardize my bag and my family for Monica. That makes the most sense to me because that's how human beings operate. You see? So, it is what it is. So I believe Tanisha. I really do. She came with receipts and she also came with humility. And that to me is what gave her the most credibility. She was very humble. She was like, I messed up. I was in it. She even said, I don't know what spell Monica had me under and all this other stuff. She was very humble. She was very humble and she took all the accountability and she was honest about the role she did play. That gave her credibility to me. Okay. Now, let's see what is next. Okay, so we already kind of talked about that. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up. And if not, I'll take some candy cane questions and comments. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Foxy says, I definitely believe in Tanisha more than I believe in Monica. Me too. Hey, Tay Tay. Tay Tay says, hi, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Happy Friday, everybody. It's about to be the weekend. Let's just have some fun and kiki. Tay Tay says, Monica has gone way too far. I agree. Natasha says, Foxy the Swede, same. Chocolate Chunk says, hey, Candy Canes. Natasha says, I love the PowerPoint, Candy. Can't say it enough. Aw. Hey, Adam. Adam says, hey, Candy. Foxy says, hey, Nataski. Nataski says, hello, everybody. Hello. Love it. Nataski says, nope. Foxy says, instead of owning it, Monica's blaming her friend for being a part of Monica's messy plan. That part. Renee says, Monica been lying on her mom too. Thank you. I've been saying this from jump. I always say, everybody was like, Monica's mother is so horrible. I'm like, come on. Her mom is not horrible. Do they have an unhealthy dynamic? Yeah, but a lot of people have weird dynamics with family, right? But I don't think her mother is this crazy, toxic monster that she made her out to be. She was definitely lying on her mother. Foxy says, hey there, Adam. Tate says, absolutely appalling. Foxy is shook. Adam says, Monica is disgusting. Monica is disgusting. Hey, Chocolate Chunks. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Says, OMG. Chocolate says, Monica exposed. Fox says, Monica is so immature. Adam says, Monica is worse than Brandy Glanville. She really is. Nataski says, see, we were right. Monica went off script at that Easter brunch. Exactly. Tate said, I effing hate Monica so much. I mean, she's psycho. Foxy says, I can't believe people actually want Monica to come back for the next season. I agree. Like, I am floored by the Monica stans. Like, I am floored by them. I really don't get it. I really don't. Hey, Chocolate Chunks. Andy was in her own house, and let's not forget what that was about. Rumors that Monica started. Exactly. Speaking of Angie and Meredith, let's read. This is from Reality Blurb. Let's read this real quick about Meredith Marks and what she has to say. Okay. One sec. Let me get to the right slide. Okay, here we go. All right. So Meredith Marks shares if Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast will turn on Monica, where they stand today, the reunion, and if she trusts Lisa, and more. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says, does Meredith Mark think the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast is on the verge of turning on season 4 newbie Monica Garcia? During a recent interview, Meredith shared her thoughts on Monica, confirming whether they spoke after the reunion. She also teased the controversial phone call with Heather Gay received in Bermuda, reacting to swirling rumors regarding Angie and more. It depends on if they believe me or Monica because she's saying I did all these things, Meredith noted during a December 30th interview with Us Weekly. According to Meredith, Monica and the cast made a lot of claims against her, but no one can back them up. And as we all know now, those have been debunked, and we know that they came from Monica. Show me how I sent these DMs because I didn't. Go get your cyber investigator because it's not me, she insisted. Following the taping of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, Meredith confirmed she's kept her distance from Monica. I've not spoken to Monica, but I have spoken to Lisa Barlow, she shared. Amid their cast trip to Bermuda, Heather received a phone call that seemed to be in reference to legal drama between her and Monica, who she accused of failing to pay for services at her spa. Speaking of the call, Meredith said the information Heather learned absolutely changed the dynamic among the cast. Heather learned stuff on that call, and like I said, I had certain things that I already knew that made the lawsuit less surprising. There were a lot of elements that went into this call, and I was shocked. It was not something I ever in a million years would have expected, Meredith teased. While in Bermuda, Meredith butted heads with Lisa, who blamed her for spreading rumors about Angie. But reflecting on their dispute, Meredith noted that Lisa was not doing it on her own. She's told that, but the reality is, like I said at lunch, the reason I asked Lisa if she was saying that I threatened Angie and all this stuff is because I'd heard murmurings of it. But I had given her the benefit of the doubt, and all I'm looking for from Lisa is the same benefit of the doubt right back. But I'm not expecting it, Meredith explains, giving a nod to their somewhat strained relationship. That's what I've done. I've changed my expectations and I accept people for who they are. And if that's who she is, I have to accept that and say, how am I going to navigate my relationship with her moving forward, given that this is a piece of who she is? After being asked if she trusts Lisa, Meredith admitted she doesn't fully. I don't have the same level of trust that we had years ago. Yes, I have a certain level of trust with certain things and other things, not as much. I'm gonna take my time, she explained. After facing claims of spreading rumors throughout the season, Meredith admitted she was surprised to see that Monica told Lisa she was behind the Greek mafia rumor about Angie. Shocked on so many levels because number one, as we all know, Monica and Lisa have not gotten along all year. Now, all of a sudden, it's like you come at my family, and by the way, let me tell you all this stuff. It felt not right, she shared. Side note, I agree 100%, Meredith. We've talked about this on the channel where I said the only reason why Monica asked Lisa to go see her family in Bermuda was because she knew Lisa and Meredith still had this unresolved beef. And she wanted to use that against Lisa to get her to turn against Meredith to make Meredith the fall guy. That's why everybody's accusing Meredith and they're not looking at Monica. It was very, very strategic. And I agree with Meredith. It didn't make any sense. Monica hates Lisa. As we know, she hates her. So why would she ask her to go visit her long-lost Bermuda family? Didn't make any sense. And the large majority of the information that Monica was talking about were rumors that she told me. And I had never heard until she told me. So I was kind of like, these aren't things I told you. This is information you shared with me. And I didn't go and tell anyone else about it. I kept it to myself. I didn't tell other people. I didn't bring it up on camera. You're the one that told me. You're the one that brought it up on camera. Exactly. And like we said, it seemed as though Monica had a vendetta against Angie because the only person who brought up rumors about Angie on camera was Monica. And then Monica's mom confirmed that in their rant that was leaked when she said, I know you have beef with her, specifically talking about Angie, which is why Monica was then, spreading these rumors about Angie. Why she has beef with Angie, I don't know. Why she has beef with any of these women, I don't know. because Monica hates them so much, she acts like these women did something to her. Heather did nothing to Monica. Lisa has done nothing to Monica. Angie has done nothing to Monica. Meredith, Whitney have done nothing to Monica. Why does she hate them so much? It's weird. Anyway, let's get going. While many cast issues were hashed out at the reunion, Meredith said she did leave the taping with some lingering questions. There were a lot of issues that I felt were a lot bigger than some of the things I needed to tackle, and there's only so much time in a day. And so obviously, if it was the biggest thing under the sun, I would have raised my hand as I do, she revealed. But I would love a little bit of closure. I feel like Lisa and I definitely had some underlying conflict, some not so underlying that I don't feel we really touched on at all. That said, Meredith does feel that she and Lisa have some sort of resolution between them. I think we both understand in seeing things play back and everything else that there were other parties involved that exacerbated the situation, which I think she pretty much gone on with me and her every year, she reasoned. So I think she and I are mentally at a place of understanding, but it's not something that we really talked about. Regarding her British accent, Meredith jokes that it always comes out if she's had more than one drink, and sometimes out other times too. If I'm around my friends with an accent, I start picking it up. It's not just a British one, but it's all of them, she confessed. Okay, Dorit. Also, during the interview, Meredith offered up an update on her marriage to Seth Marks. Everything with Seth is great. We're crazy busy right now, both of us. So it's a little bit hard finding our time together right now. That's my only complaint, is that I miss him, she said. So, what do you guys think about the upcoming reunion? Do you think that everything will be resolved? I don't think so. And what do you think is going to be in this alleged burn book? Put it down below. And before you do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Hey, Natasha.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
So yeah, like we were like totally right for the thousandth time. I mean, it's getting exhausting being this right all the time. Like I would, I wish we could mix it up a little bit.
A little bit. We'd be surprised once.
Right? Like like I'm almost annoyed. Like I would like to be surprised. It's crazy. Yeah, I definitely think like that Easter was the turning point. I think that's where a lot of her plans kind of took a left turn.
Yep.
Including the ladies catching on.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and it's funny because you definitely said that. I was asking about it, and then come to find out in that video is literally her mom saying that.
Yep.
Being like, what was like basically how we like hypothetically thought it would have happened. Like, what was that back there? Like, what were you doing? Like,
yeah, the mom was like, girl, calm down.
That's not what we talked about, girl. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
And it was exactly that. I am on the fence about the producers. I can't decide because I don't think they would admit anyway.
True. Mm-hmm.
And as far as, I don't know, I think I'm just confused by, I don't know, the people that are still, I've noticed that whenever people are for Monica, they never look at her actions in like total. They only like take one thing and they extract it and they're like, see, this isn't that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the reality of what's happening here. And they also don't include, I mean, you can't deny at this point, Monica was the majority responsible for that account. And she probably has more fake counts. Let's be real.
She definitely does. There's no way that was her only, because she even said on the leaked audio, I want to DM Mary from a burner account, and then she laughs and says, "Oh, I could just do it from Reality Von Tees." So that means you have more than one.
Right. She was prepared to make another one, like whatever, yeah. So like this is totally her thing, like,
Mm-hmm.
This is her main weapon. And I stumbled across something really interesting that I feel like this I just want to make this statement
Yeah.
because out of just little protection, but like I by no means am a doctor and accusing anyone of I'm not diagnosing anyone. It's just in my
Mhm.
opinion this
Yep.
person is resembling a personality disorder that is just so happens to be linked with her behaviors. And
Exactly.
one of your candy canes said it, and I was like, yes, because I remember like the dark triad. Because this is why I watch these shows and I love Candy Washington, everyone. I'm obsessed with
Aw,
like
thank you.
psychology and like analyzing. And I really like to take how I kind of like swallow watching some of this low vibrational stuff is that I like to learn about these people and like different like toxic behaviors so then I can apply that and identify that in my own life.
Mhm.
It's helpful. And
It is.
so one of your candy canes mentioned Machiavellianism, and that's a very
Ooh.
underused one, and it is part of the dark
Mhm.
triad. And when you read the definition, you're going to be like, why is her picture not there? Like it is I can't even spell it. Uh
Machiavellian?
yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Foxy the Sweet says, "I think Monica is very jealous of all the ladies on the show." I spot on, because the jealousy is the root of all of her vitriol and hatred and how she's going so hard, because it's like, well, if you hate all these people, why do you wanna be on a show with them that's supposed to be a show about women's friendships?
And
You
there's
know?
whenever you see people in your life that have like some kind of like visceral toward you that doesn't quite match up with like the events that took place, that's usually what it is.
Wait, Nadotsky, you know what you just made me think about? Shout
What?
out to Vanderpump Rules. When, Stassi is ordering from Sheena Shea, and
Oh,
she goes, "I don't know what I did to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio."
right. I knew you were going to say as soon as you said that, I was like, but I'll take a Pinot
Yeah,
Grigio in
"I
my
don't know
head.
what I did to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio." Like, that's the vibe. It's like, "I don't know what these ladies did to you, Monica, but, like, we'll take a Pinot Grigio."
Yeah, or at
Like,
least a
why are you so
Sauvignon
mad?
Blanc. Yeah. It's really
I'll have a
crazy.
rosé.
But Machiavellianism, listen to this, is a
Okay.
personality trait characterized by this is a big one, interpersonal manipulation, indifference to morality, lack of empathy, and strategic focus on self-interest. I'm done.
I mean, if that wasn't her Bumble profile, I don't know what else it would be.
Not Bumble profile. It's like check, check, and check, check.
Yeah,
But
I'm
again,
sorry, Tinder profile.
we're not doctors over here. This is just our opinion based on
Yeah.
the behavior that she showed us. Thank you and thanks. That's
Yeah,
the end of
and
my disclaimer.
exactly, and we're just having a fun kiki, like, we don't have,
We're
even
in.
though all the things Monica did, we don't have any hate or vitriol towards her at all. We're not calling her the A word or the B word like her and her mother called the other ladies. We're just dissecting and having fun with our opinion on how she is displaying herself, that's all. So, we don't even hate you, Monica, we or anything like that. We just want you to calm down, as Taylor Swift would say. You need to calm down. You still there, Nataski? Natasha? Oh no. Oh, come back up, Natasha, if you can. I'll drop the link again. I think got dropped. One sec. There we go. Hey, Shady, what's up? Hey, Virgo Queen, how are you, sweetheart? It says, "I feel like Monica is getting exactly what she wanted. She's the new star of Salt Lake City." Exactly. Hey, Shady, how are you, sweetheart? Hey, Natasha.
Sorry, like right when I said that, I was like, clip, like Monica's little demon that got sent out to me. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Monica.
Just kidding, Monica.
Um, yeah, I actually got a phone call. So I was like, click, and then I was like, hello. But But yeah, what were we saying?
Machiavelli.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's just I don't know. Yeah, we're not doctors. It's just our opinion. We're allowed to do
Mhm.
that. But yeah, it's just clear as day. Like we were even right about the fact that she even herself used our own word that we said this girl infiltrated, and people are like, why are you
Mhm.
using the word infiltrate? I'm like, because that's what she did. Meanwhile, she used that word herself. I'm
She did,
like,
yeah, that's
I'm
what I'm
done. Like
saying.
I'm done. Like we
Like,
can't like
all of our conspiracy theories were, and again, you guys, alleged opinion, entertainment.
alleged appearance.
Alleged opinion, entertainment, but all of our conspiracy theories were allegedly confirmed because everything that came out based on what she said herself in these leaked audios, what her and her mother said in the leaked footage, confirm what we were saying from jump. Just like you
To the
said,
point
she
she almost
herself
used the
said,
same verbiage.
yeah, she herself said we were able to this. She either said infiltrated or get inside, or let's watch and listen again because it's only a minute.
I
Okay,
mean, yeah,
listen.
semantics at this
Yeah,
point.
at this point, but let's listen again just in case.
Girl, I know. That's exactly why I called her a snake. Like, you dumb bitch. Like, low key, I want to DM Mary from like a burner account. She probably wouldn't ever see it. And just be like, bitch, I could do it from Reality Von Teese. Okay? But anyway, because we, she'd be watching that shit and she would open our messages and just be like, just so you know, Julian, one of our followers fucking said that she said everything. Just so you fucking know. Bitch, that girl is a fucking dirty rat. She's a rat. One of these types of things. Bravo will not touch you again with a 10-foot pole. And that's exactly what I was saying. I'm not trying to ruin my credibility or name or future like that. Bitch, what happens if fucking Lisa Barlow or Meredith Marks somehow, we don't know, okay, we got in with Jen, we would never be able to do that again. Because, like, look, at the end of the day, my goal is to be a star, bitch. Kind of joking, but also kind of serious. Like, I don't want to ruin my chances for ever being on a Bravo show. Hello! No! You guys, I think I might drive up to Park City because the movers are coming today. What do you guys think? Should I do it? To record? For, like, BTS Reality Von Teese footage?
Yes, she said
Get in.
we got in.
Yeah.
Got in, infiltrate, same meaning. But then
Semantics,
semantics. Did you also catch? I'm happy to listen to it again. See, this is another reason why I don't think the producers knew, because she said, I don't want to mess up my chances with Bravo. Why would she say that if the producers knew?
Yeah. You know what's really I started getting
You know what
into
I
it
mean?
and I discovered because I'm like also besides Bravo into true crime and stuff. And I remember watching, I forget who did this particular video, but you know, like there's like body language analysis where there's also what's it called? Where they analyze the words you use. And a lot of times people will use words well there where there's hidden confessions, that's what
Mm,
they call.
mhm.
And it's really cool. And I wish we can get like it would probably like well we could probably like maybe close caption it someday, but it'd be interesting to like analyze it from that perspective because I've like especially knowing what we know, you could see, you know, how she like where she goes about and like how she kind of like steers in what direction she's going, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, because there's definitely yeah, why would she but back to what you're saying, why would she use that? See, that's why I'm on the fence.
Because why would she say she was worried about Bravo finding out and all this stuff
But
if
people are
Bravo already knew.
But people are saying, oh, here's an argument I heard someone, and I was like, I don't know. But one, I don't even know if that's true. But
Mm,
on the other hand, I don't know. And it's the one where they said that that same cease and desist that Jen sent to her was also sent to Bravo's production.
mm.
So if that was the case, there
We need
goes the
we
whole
need
mystery.
we need verification on that though.
Yeah. Like, just like hearsay, like, we don't know.
Yeah.
Your Honor, that's hearsay. So,
And
yeah.
another it's hearsay and we need to know, but also because don't forget in the cease and desist, she's Monica Fowler. It's the same exact situation that happened with Beauty Lab
That's true. The
where
Bravo execs
she
could have no idea that that was the same
because
girl.
remember, Heather herself had no idea it was the same Monica
She probably
until she went
registered.
to Beauty Lab to register the gift card for her, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we have 3 Monicas with the same birth date," but it was different last names, and that's how Heather found out it was the same Monica. So Monica Fowler versus Monica Garcia could be 2 different people, and also this is another thing we have to realize. Again, this is a corporation and teams don't always talk to each other. So just because
That's true.
Bravo's legal team got some cease and desist from Jen Shaw, which I'm sure they get letters like that literally every single day, doesn't mean that they communicated that to casting and productions. And also don't forget, Bravo is owned by NBC. The actual production people is like a different production company. I forget what it's called. It's like Shed Media or something like that, or one of those ones. So there's a difference between Bravo producers versus the production company that actually produces the show and casts the show. They're
Right.
they're different people.
And like she obviously like signed her W-2 or whatever under Monica Garcia. And
Yeah.
they're such a big company, so they're not going to be like, just hypothetically, do we think she's under any other name? Like, you know what I mean? So they probably just like push the paperwork ahead. And so when they have that, they're not going to like match it up. Oh, let's see. Like one time we got a cease and desist a year before with
Yeah,
the same first
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, and it's Shed Media. Shed Media is the production company that actually because people like there's different aspects of production. So Shed Media is the people who on the day to day. Those are the actual like when they break the fourth wall and you see producers behind the scenes.
Yeah, the
Those
dudes in
people
the
work
cargo shorts.
Yeah, those people work for Shed Media. They don't work for Bravo. They don't work for NBC. They work for Shed Media because these companies like Bravo and NBC, they outsource the day-to-day production and casting to smaller production companies. That's why there's like hundreds of production companies.
Right.
That's why different production companies are different for like certain franchises and they look and feel different. Like the same people who did Vanderpump Rules did Beverly Hills, but they're different from the people that do Potomac, that do Jersey, that do other stuff. Even how people were thinking that Peacock was owned by Bravo. That's not true. Peacock is owned by NBC. They're sister companies. So when they say producers, what I'm talking about is I don't think the true producers who cast the show, Shed Media producers, knew who she was.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think. But again, people are on the fence about it. It's up in the air, and there's arguments on both sides. Oof, this is a doozy. Oh, hey, Shady says I would come up, but I need to pick my daughter. Oh, be safe picking up your daughter, sweetheart. All good. Hey, Foxy. Chocolate chunks.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was
Yeah.
like, I wasn't sure if my like thing was working. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence for sure.
We'll never
I can't
know
just
for
I
sure.
can't decide. But like to me, like I don't think that this doesn't give a production scheme. If they were
Yeah.
aware, it would have been an afterthought and they just ran with it. Which I don't know, like based on what you just described, that situation, it's highly unlikely. So, because her
Mhm.
name with the name change and all. So, I don't really think so. I just think that this was a plot that she was thoroughly committed to.
Mhm.
and she got her mother to go along with it.
Mhm.
And then I think that her ego and her weird triggers got the best of her, and she
Mhm.
lost the plot on that Easter brunch and almost let the cat out of the bag.
Mhm.
And I remember Heather being like, this looks vaguely familiar, Jen, you know?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, and I feel like as that happened, they probably were like, well, we have to work with her. Let's still try with her. But they kept like their good eye on her. You know what I mean? You could tell they every time they were dealing with her, you could tell that like they were like, who is this chick? Like, okay, like we'll try to make the most of this. We're like all working together, you know?
I think it was this is the scary part is that Monica's plan worked. She, as in her own words, she got in, aka infiltrated Jen Shaw, and through proximity and also through what word am I looking for? Association, right? She was able to gain
Leverage that.
leverage and get her own level of a certain level of her own credibility because she was a part of Jen's squad. She was the one who went to the feds with information. She was the one who sought out Jen to become an assistant. And so she used all of that to leverage herself to get on the show. I was Jen Shaw's assistant. I know all of her secrets. I know what's going on. But don't worry, I'm actually a really good person. I went through the feds. I was going to testify against her, blah, 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 blah. And I think that production ate that up.
Well,
And I
didn't
think that was the biggest reason why they cast her was because of her proximity to Jen Shaw. And a lot of people do this. This is also probably Machiavellian or 48 Laws of Power or whatever the stuff is.
Oh yeah,
When
I
you
forgot about that
want
one.
to get when you want to get influence, when you want to get power, when you want to get notoriety, one of the most effective ways is to attach yourself to someone who already has it.
Right.
That's why people do co-branding or collabs. The way that you rise your star is to attach yourself to somebody whose star is already risen.
Yep.
That's also why a lot of celebrities do these fake relationships because usually one of the celebrities is a little bit lower and they have a project coming out and they want to leverage the other star's power in order to get
Absolutely.
their project promoted more. Oh my God, this person's now dating Brad Pitt or Bradley Cooper or Lady Gaga or blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, that person in 6 months or a year is now the new it girl. Or vice
Right.
versa. If the guy has like a new project and now all of a sudden he's dating this new like model starlet, it makes him look really cool and all that stuff. It's the essence of I want to get power and shine and influence, so I'm going to take yours. And that's exactly what she did. Because remember when she was cast, the only thing people knew about Monica was that she was Jen Shaw's assistant who turned state's evidence. And
That's all
that's
we
how
knew.
she really got in. Mm-hmm.
But what about the whole thing where I don't know, I vaguely recall, I could be wrong, someone correct me if I am, um, that Andy said that they've been trying to get Monica for years.
Does Andy Cohen ever know what he's talking about? And
Um,
no shade to Andy Cohen, no shade to Andy Cohen, but he usually is way off base and really tone deaf. And he was trying to clap back at Jeff Lewis. Why was he trying? And this also doesn't make any sense. Why would they be trying to get Monica for years when she was just Jen Shaw's assistant when they actually had Jen Shaw? The reason why I think they hired her because she was Jen Shaw's assistant was because Jen Shaw went to jail. And it was juicier to have her assistant now on the show because Jen Shaw got caught, pled guilty, and was going to prison. And that was the salaciousness around it. Why would they be courting Monica for years? On what other show have you ever seen they said, "Oh, we have Jen Shaw, hater or lover, she was a star of the show. You have the star of the show, and production's like, but we really want to get her third assistant on the show." That doesn't make any sense. And
it's like,
honestly,
Jen's
Andy
great,
doesn't.
but
Yeah, and we're
if
talking
we
about
could
Andy
just
Cohen.
get
Yeah, and
her
we're talking about Andy Cohen to be clear,
her
because there's like
coffee
four Andys.
getter.
There's like
Just
four
kidding.
Andys. Yeah, so we're talking about Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen usually isn't. I don't really go to him as like a source of someone who's like in the know of the shows he executive produced. Like on Watch What
Right.
Happens Live, he doesn't know what's going on. At the reunions, he doesn't even know what's going on. Why
He
that
like
doesn't make
learns
sense.
things for the first time. It's weird.
Yeah, production company has been courting her third assistant for years. What? And also the show is only on its 4th season. What do you mean years? This isn't like Beverly Hills where they're on their like 13th or 14th season. This show is still kind of like a baby show. It's like getting into its toddler stages. What do you mean for years?
Literally.
Since season 2, when when nobody knew who Monica was? Doesn't make any sense. It's literally the 4th season and Monica's on it. So you're telling me you're recording Monica for the last 2 years? That doesn't make any sense. Because Monica
When
didn't
did she
even
get a divorce from her ex-husband though?
She got
Oh, no,
divorced
no.
in October of
No.
2023.
I meant when did she separate? Like when did the affair emerge?
10 years ago.
Oh, what?
10 years
Really?
ago.
Stop.
10 years ago. She was talking about the affair like it was recent. No, the affair was 10 years ago.
I literally thought it was like 3 years ago.
10, because she's 40. So I think it happened when she was around 30. The affair was 10 years ago. That's when they first separated. And then they got back together, and they had been together that whole time. Then they quote, I guess separated again, but then they were legally married all during filming. That's why Heather at that dinner, remember when Heather got really pissed at her and she was like, I'm the only single woman at this table because you're still married, and she was calling her out on the lies. And then Monica lied and said, I can sleep with whoever I want. It's just because Michael hasn't signed the papers yet. Because she got called out. She was still married. Yeah. The affair happened like a decade ago. Because the guy she had the affair with, the brother-in-law, he's already divorced that woman and remarried again.
Oh, wow. The cop?
The cop. Mm-hmm.
Wow. What's taking...
Yep.
Okay, so...
Honey Bunny has something funny. She says, I think Real Housewives is just inadvertently showing how people with money get their money. Hi, Honey Bunny. Hi, sweetheart. I think I saw SW2 in the chat. Hey, SW says they have to communicate if they're listed on that letter. It depends how it was delivered. Yes, SW. Hey, Virgo Queen. I wonder how Andy feels about all this leaking. Very true. Very true. Hey, Adam. He says Roni and Salt Lake City are the same. Likewise with Roa and Rohop being the same.
He's talking about production, I think. Yeah.
Production company. Hey, everybody. Hey, Miss T. Thank you so much for being my mod and holding me down. I appreciate you. Hey, DGF says, I'm so late. Monica seems to have the skill set to manipulate others. The takedown of Jen Shaw was disingenuous. She didn't care about the seniors. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the perfect word, disingenuous. And that's what gets me, where people are like, she took her down. She's iconic. First of all, Monica did not take down Jen Shaw.
She used that as an opportunity.
The feds took down Jen Shaw. That little Instagram account, Relative Aunties, didn't do jack other than annoy her and make her pay like $1,000 to file some cease and desist letter. Other than that, that did not take down Jen Shaw, not man one bit. The federal government took down Jen Shaw. So I agree with you. It's very
people are literally saying that she took down Jen Shaw. It's silly. It's honestly silly and really delusional.
Yep, Adams is waiting 10 years to divorce. Yes, if you Google it, because it came out, because I remember we were talking about this around BravoCon, because it came out then that she had just divorced her husband, Mike. She filed for the second time June of 2023, because I was under the impression that they were already divorced. I didn't realize they were still actually married. And then that's when I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then it came out that the affair happened about 10 years before. They separated, filed for divorce, but then got back together. So her whole story was whack. That's why Heather kept coming at her and was like, I'm the only single person at this table. And that's why she was coming for Monica's neck. Because Heather knew she was full of it.
Yeah, I literally thought it was 3 years. I never once assumed that it could have been a whole decade ago. That's just strange.
Because why would you bring up something that happened a decade ago?
Yeah, and make that like such a recent issue for you.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's bizarre.
I feel like someone else said something and now I forget it.
I agree, Adam. He says not to get personal, but I feel sorry for Monica's children. It's okay to get personal, and I do too. I feel really bad because if you go back and watch that leaked video of her and her mom, to me, the most chilling part was how calm her kids were, because they were so desensitized to that type of verbal violence and emotional abuse. The little girl in the little red thing, she was like trotting around unfazed. The older daughter walked by unfazed, because that was just like a day in the life.
They were like, that's another Tuesday.
And that made me so sad. Yeah, where it's just like that amount of verbal abuse and attack should not be just another day in the life. And don't forget, she weaponized her children against her mother in the show. Remember the scenes where she was like, don't let grandma in. Oh, we're so scared of grandma. You didn't look scared of grandma in the leaked video. The little girl was walking around grandma. The other girl was hanging around. You didn't look so terrified of grandma in the leaked video. You look like this was another day. Where was the fear? Where was the terror? You didn't look scared of your mom.
Terror.
Yeah, where was it? You know, there was no, like, like, that's the thing. If you just watch the show, the kids were like, we're so scared. Lock the door behind you. Oh my God, mama, papa. But then in the leaked video, the kids were like, da 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 da, like, whatever, another day. The mom was the one who looked the most scared. Out of everybody in that video, the mom looked the most scared. Nana was in the corner, like, what? The kids were walking by, like, what? Monica was cussing her mother out with a camera in her face. The mom looked the most scared out of everybody there. I'm not saying her mother is perfect. I'm not. But her mother did look more scared than anybody else in the video. See? It's sad. I do feel bad. I feel bad for the kids. Virgo says, remember Monica said her children had more than enough time to cope with what happened. It was in her confessional scene. I can't remember exactly what she said. Thank you. Yup.
What do you mean more than enough time?
Like 10 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was still laughing at you saying, I didn't realize I was like on mute at the time. I was laughing at you going, mama, papa. Like it was so like masterpiece theater. Like they're frightened.
Oh, we're so scared, mama, papa.
So frightened.
Come help us.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Meanwhile, she's just walking by and they're having a full-on screaming match. Like, and she's like reaching for chips.
And Miss T is spot on. Monica used the affair to make herself look like she owns her stuff. 100%. That's another Machiavellian 48 Laws of Power move, where you are just transparent enough to disarm the opponent, to make them think you're vulnerable, to make them think you are being,
yeah, that's why you got to learn the skills of the enemy so we don't get outwitted.
You don't get outwitted. Exactly. 100%. And that's why they're like, oh, you're so real. Look over here so you don't look over here.
Exactly. They're gonna let you in on just enough that they can afford to like allow you to know, just to have you like feel comfortable around them and trust them and be like, oh look, they're honest. No, they're not. It's a strategy.
It is a strategy. It's a strategy and it's toxic. Yes, Miss T, Monica is a sniper from the side.
Now, I just think it's crazy. Like,
yeah,
do you think that this was like a like full on like 3-year strategy, or like do you think that when she was in with Jen and they're like, we already got in, so at that point she was like, I'm gunning for that spot right now, right? That was like what she was going for. And I wonder, like, did she email Bravo? Was she going, hi, I'm Jen's assistant, hi. Like, how do you think that went about?
Well, this is what I think happened. I think that, let's just leave Koa and Savannah, the other people, out of it. Just for Monica. I think Monica is a person who wanted to be famous. She wanted to be famous. She wanted money. She wanted a certain lifestyle. Just like she said she wanted to be a star by any means necessary. And I think that when Bravo brought Salt Lake City to Utah, she thought, this was my chance. And I think that she looked up all the women who are going to be on the show, trying to figure out casting, trying to figure out everything else, and saw that Jen was probably the weakest link that she would be able to infiltrate, because Jen's team clearly is pretty easy to infiltrate. All you have to do is DM. Jen's assistants were always looking for assistants and looking for people, and she had so many people around her and all of this stuff. And then also Jen, even though this show started about because of Lisa Barlow, Jen was definitely the most like lavish and outspoken and crazy and star one. And I think that Monica was drawn to that. And so I think that she figured out, how can I, if I can get in with Jen, then I can get on the show and then I can get what I really want. And so that's why she was DMing Jen. That's why she wanted to be her assistant. That's why she was showing up at places and befriending people and doing all of this stuff. That's why she went to the feds. The feds did not come to her. She was doing all that stuff and then starting the account and befriending Koa and taking all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. She was doing everything she could to get on the show. I don't think it was personally about Jen Shah either way, that she liked her or didn't like her. I think in her mind, Jen Shah was just a means to her end. And that's how she was going to do it. And that's how she was going to, that's why her mom said in the video, you've worked so hard to get here. Because I don't think it's necessarily even about reality TV. I think that's just the opportunity that presented itself. I think this is more of Monica wanting herself to be famous. How she reached out to producers on the show, probably like through casting calls. She's now around people. She's around hair and makeup. She's around glam. She's probably been around filming at this point since she's been the assistant. It's a small town. You know, the production teams were putting up castings for people, like, you know, probably looking for extras and looking for hair and makeup and looking for this and looking for that because they have to produce a show. So she probably got in that way. This is what I think. If I think Jen Shah had not gone to prison, I do not think they would have cast Monica. I think Monica put herself in the right place at the right time. And the fact that Jen went to prison opened up the way again because she took Jen's shine. Because without her proximity to Jen and association with Jen, there really is no Monica. There really isn't. So without her being a part of Monica's squad, or I'm sorry, of Jen Shah squad, without the serendipity or whatever you want to call it of Jen going to prison, I do not think they would have hired Monica.
And I almost think that was like an
question?
incentive. And I almost think that was kind of an incentive in the back of her mind, a possibility of that when she saw the opportunity to expose Jen, it was never for the goodness of her heart. She saw it as an opportunity to make her look great, to get Jen out of the way. And you saw her in some of Jen's videos. She was ready. She was ready for that cam.
Oh, she was dressing up like Kris Jenner and laughing and having fun. She was shown on Meredith's security camera, hanging out in Meredith's store when they stole the
clutch.
The clutch. So she was living her best life because, again, Monica said it herself. She wants to be a star. She wants to be on Bravo. She wants to be famous. What Monica cares about, just like her mother said, was screen time. She's an actress. Pretend. That's what Monica's goal was. She didn't care because you can't tell me that Monica actually cares about the way Jen Shah speaks to people with the way Monica speaks to people. Not just people, but her own mother.
Right.
And Monica pops off the way she's gone after Lisa, the way she's gone after Heather, the way she went after Angie. She has said the most horrible things to these women. And you want to really play in my face like you actually care the way Jen Shah speaks to people?
And the way she pops off of them, again, for what? Like, what have they done to her? When your actions don't match up with what's going on, that's when something else is happening.
She act like these women were sleeping with her man for 18 months.
I said that. I was like,
I'm
she's
confused.
acting like Lisa.
You acting
is the
like
one
they
that
did
had an
something
affair
to
with
you.
Her husband.
Exactly. You acting like they did something to you. I'm confused. And then again, Tanisha, shout out to Josiah's World TV Media. In her interview, Tanisha said she herself never witnessed Jen Shah getting out of pocket because I do think a lot of Jen Shah is performative. I think Jen Shah herself had a housewife blueprint.
Yeah,
and she
the
would
Kazam
pop off
was
and scream
the Shazam
and do all
and
that
Kazam
stuff.
of it all was
all of it all. I think 80% of her outburst was performative.
Absolutely.
And I think that a lot of what they caught for Morality Von Teese, I think that they strategically set Jen up to pop off and do all that stuff. Because Tanisha said she never saw Jen get upset. She never
they
saw Jen
provoked
raise
her.
her voice.
And
exactly.
that's a narcissistic technique too.
Mm-hmm.
They provoke you
provoked
to
her.
elicit a reaction that they could use against you.
And then they just so conveniently have an iPhone filming you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's literally textbook stuff.
Yep.
So when I see that, I'm just like, check, and check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Jen was like, I definitely think a lot of those videos were provoked. And I'm not saying Jen was an angel. Obviously, she was very selfish and scheming herself and greedy.
Mm-hmm.
And she had her own issues. But this is something different. Like the level of manipulation, and Jen was a good manipulator too. But this is, I don't know, this is like almost something either else or very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you just look at it with like an untrained eye on the top level, you're like, how? Like she committed felonies. Monica's not committing any crimes, guys. You're exaggerating. You're reaching. I'm just like, no, you got to look at it with the big picture. Like, it's not normal to be able to be this manipulative and this, like, the level of skill behind it isn't normal. Because normal humans, if you like learn about psychology and like if you watch some of those videos, especially what I was referring to, and which is why people do like kind of like hidden confessions within their statements, is because at the end of the day, or what people, when it comes to the lie, like they'll give extra details around everything else, but when it comes to like the meat and potatoes of the actual thing that they need to answer, they'll be very vague. And the psychology behind that is that at the end of the day, people don't like lying. They really don't. Even like most liars don't like it. They're not going to like enjoy it. It's like kind of a means to get what they need to do. You know what I mean? And so to be that good at it is just like, I don't know, it's just scary.
Yeah. SW says, is Jen still married? Yeah, she's still married to Coach Shaw. Because again, I think Coach Shaw, in my opinion, allegedly, I think he was in on it. I think he knew the scheme. I think he benefited from the scheme. I think she took the L for him and everybody else. That's why I think she pled guilty, in my opinion. But because Coach Shaw is very, very smart. I don't think that Jen was running this scheme and he did not know. You know what I mean? Now, what was the other question? Oh, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, about what Tasky was saying. The thing is, Jen Shaw's fraud, defrauding the elderly, yes, it's wrong, horrible. You know, Teresa's fraud, defrauding the government, wrong, horrible. You know, Tom Girardi fraud, defrauding his victims, wrong, horrible. But in a weird way, those are understandable frauds. They're kind of textbook normal, and these, not normal, but you know what I mean. And
you're like, here's a person who's greedy and he's lying to get that. Okay, that makes sense mentally, even though it's wrong.
Right. But the core difference when it comes to them versus Monica is these people were just, to be frankly, average, run-of-the-mill, white-collar fraudsters within their own lives, totally separate from the show. Tom Girardi was a fraud way before Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Jen Shaw was a fraud way before Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Teresa and Joe were frauds way before Real Housewives of New Jersey. The problem with Monica coming back to the show is that the sole purpose of her fraud was to go against the other women in order to get on the show. And that is what makes it scary, single white female stalkery. When the only intention behind your fraud is to put yourself amongst these people to get on a show, to me, that changes the level of...
That's a different level of psychology, yeah.
It's a different type of thing. Like, Jen Shaw didn't defraud the elderly to get on the show. But Monica created all of this stuff in order to get on the show. And that's what makes the dynamic scary and weird. Doesn't mean Jen Shaw's not bad for what she did, but it's a different type of psychology around that. And that's why if I was on the show, I wouldn't want to film with her, because her fraud is literally based on being in my presence, getting on the show when you clearly hate me. That's the difference people aren't seeing. They're like, Jen's horrible and everybody else is fraudsters and blah, 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 blah. But they didn't do their fraud in order to be on the show. That's very different. They're all bad and they all should be in jail. That's the scary part. You see what I'm saying? Ugh.
It's just funny because, yeah, it's
Are you rubbing?
just
I
like,
think you're rubbing something.
oh, sorry. It was like on my jacket. I'm like
Oh,
going
it's
to go
okay.
running in like 15 minutes.
Nice.
But they, it's a different, it's because she's doing it. And that's the whole thing when it came to like her scheming against the other women while she's on the show. It's just everyone's like, but she did a good thing. Then why is she scheming against these women still?
Yeah. Like you did you see the reunion trailer? Why is she so hateful towards them?
Why do you hate these women so much?
Why do you hate them so much? If you hate them so
Give
much,
us a
why
good
do you want to be
reason.
on the show? Why do you
Give
want to
us
be
a
on the
good
show with these women you hate so much?
Yeah, it's not adding up other than you might be psychologically not well. That's the only thing that's adding up. Because you
Unhinged.
don't have a reason. You really don't. These women did nothing to you. They really did not do it. They did nothing to you, your family. There's nothing that you could trace these women back to, any hardships that you've had.
Yep.
Okay? Other than you're comparing yourself, your own ego, or whatever. It's not adding up. It's
Yep.
showing that you're just overwhelmed, and someone that would go to such great lengths over sheer jealousy is kind of a
Yep.
dangerous person.
It is. She is a dangerous person. She
You're
is.
willing
Hey,
to do that
MRT.
much over jealousy? That's crazy.
It's crazy. Hey, MRT says Candy, you're 100% on point with everything. I had already said Monica leaked that video for sure. Yeah, Monica definitely leaked that video. Hey, Alexi says when a narcissist uses another narcissist, it's always super messy. Hey, Florida Brit says she's psychotic. Hey, Cammy says Andy and production really need to do better job vetting the housewives. I agree, because I really don't think production knew. Because it's too the way this is the thing. If production knew, the way the season went is actually very sloppy. But if production didn't know,
Right.
the way the season went is brilliant.
Right.
Because
it seems like a
you know what I
casual
mean?
accident. How it just all kind of accidentally fell into place and they were just running with it.
Production looked just as shook as Heather did. You know? Go back, like if you really watch, they look just as shook as her.
They're
When
like,
she's
holy
walking
shit.
off, they all kind of look at Monica and kind of do a little back away. And again, Monica has not come out and said production knew. If she says that they knew at the reunion, or she comes out and says it, then maybe. But I think the first thing out of her mouth would have been, well, they knew and they cast me and they told me not to say anything. I was just doing my job. It's not me. Because that would be cover. That would be protection.
Yeah, because she was ready to reach for someone else.
If production knew, I would have to sit here and just shut all the way up. But production came out and said they didn't know. And she has yet to say it. Because then I would blame production for putting the women in a dangerous situation. Because again, don't forget, this may be a TV show, but it's a job. It's a workplace. And in America, your boss is supposed to create safe environments for work. That's why NBC keeps getting hit with lawsuits left and right.
Yep. All right. Well, I got to go. I got to get running before the sun falls down.
Oh, have fun and be safe, okay?
But thanks for another investigative report.
You
per
too.
usual.
Thanks for being my
Bye,
favorite
guys.
co-host.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. Oof. All right, you guys. We've been on here for 2 hours. We have debunked lies. We have confirmed conspiracy theories. And we still have more questions. So I will definitely be tuning in for the 3-part reunion. What do you guys think is going to be in Monica's burn book? I think it's going to be a big nothing burger. The same way at the end of the reunion, at the end of the finale, you know how she's sitting in the confessional and she's like, there's so much more. There's so much more. I think it's going to be a big nothing burger. The same exact way, remember on Scandival when they did their reunion and at the end they were like, what's her name? Rachel was like, there's so much more. There's going to be an explosive last 5 minutes. And that was a big nothing burger because, again, production didn't know anything that was going on and they weren't paying attention. So everything Rachel said, we kind of like, we knew that last year and it's really not that big of a deal because we already knew. I think it's the same thing. I think that Monica saying there's something more and coming with this very performative burn book, like she's a child, like she's like a little kid. I think it's going to be a big nothing burger because to me that just makes the most sense. It would actually be really nice if it was something explosive and we can come and kiki about it, but my gut says it's going to be a big nothing burger. The receipts are not receding. You know what I mean? That's what I really think that really, because at the end of the day, what could be in that burn book? What could be so explosive that hasn't gone out yet? Because even the season finale, Heather's reveal of who Monica really was, we already knew that a couple of weeks ago and we reported it on it. So it's really hard to keep big secrets under wrap. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. SW said that might be her last card to use. That's a good point. SW says, or she's getting to keep her job by not saying it. There you go. Florida Brit says she's burning herself. Don't believe the hype. Kami says, I think she's coming for Beauty Lab in Barlow. That's a good one. SW says, nothing burger. Love it. Haha. Kami says, I love the show, Candy. I love you too. Shout out to all my candy canes in the chat box. Thank you so much for holding me down. Shout out to Natoski. Thank you so much for coming up and laughing and kikiing and sleuthing with me. I love you guys. Happy Friday. Have a very fun and a very safe weekend. Go out and have fun. Lexi says, I agree that Monica carried the show. She did so through infiltration and deception. There is satisfaction in catching the imposter. The next step is expulsion. I hope she's gone. I agree, Lexi. And people like, she carried the show. I'm like, did she carry it or did she hijack it? So I agree with you, Lexi. Aw, Florida says, bye, AC. Bye, everybody. SW says, you're very talented. Happy Friday. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate you. This has been so much fun. I love you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification button so you don't miss it when we go live. We might do Beverly Hills this weekend, so stay tuned. If not, we'll get to it next week for sure. But you guys be safe, have fun, and I love you. Florida Brit says, bye, Candy. I'm in England. It's 9 p.m. and 1 o'clock. Ooh, you better enjoy it. You better enjoy it. All right, you guys. Mwah. Bye. Love you.